In this video clip, I use the octicon model of a person to map out and show how our 10 faculties can be linked to our language and the words we use. But let's start with the origin of languages. With regard to our senses, we are just like animals, although not as good as some. But when it comes to our mind, it seems that we humans are unique in being self-aware. Not only that, we have the ability to write languages and can store our thoughts and ideas and transfer them to others, which gives us potentially unlimited possibilities. All this seems to have happened very suddenly and not so long ago, over millennia rather than millions of years. How are we to explain this? Well, perhaps the appearance of human language is an example of evolution and divine acts of creation going hand in hand. Whatever the mechanism, we can argue, if we are spiritual, that we now have both material words and the divine word. In the beginning was the Word, we are told in the Gospel of St. John. Let's now look at the way we use our faculties to communicate with one another. We use our faculty of expression to speak or write words, our observation faculty to listen or read words, our interpretive faculty to think about it all and try to understand what is being said, and we use our faculty of application to do things in support of our communication. If we are really communicating properly, we should be using these faculties all the same time, proper multitasking. And if we believe we have a spiritual side to us, then we can argue that we are also communicating the divine word as well. Now let's look at the words we use, or rather the 8 parts of speech. It seems reasonable to suppose that they correspond with the octicon faculties in some way, especially if we are made in the image of God. This actually seems to be the case, and here's how. Nouns signify a concrete or abstract entity, or those things we observe or imagine with our senses. So these correspond with our observing faculty. In the Genesis story, Adam's first job was to name animals. On the other hand, verbs signify an activity or process performed or undergone. That is, the things that we do, our actions. So these correspond to our faculty of application. Adjectives modify, describe or qualify a noun, creating a fuller description of a concrete or abstract entity. These therefore correspond well to our creative faculty. And in the same way, adverbs modify, describe or qualify a verb, helping us to judge, evaluate or choose an activity or process, and so correspond to our judging faculty. Conjunctions join part of a discourse and fill in gaps, helping us to interpret the logic or rationale of what is being said. They are therefore essential for our interpretive faculty. Interjections express emotion on the part of the speaker and can represent a particular feeling or attitude. These then support our faculty of expression. Prepositions indicate the relationship between things mentioned and the way they are directed or positioned one to another, so they can help our directing faculty. And finally, pronouns or determiners are like adjectives that help distinguish, define or number people or things. Thus they are needed by our monitoring or discerning faculty. What are the other 2 faculties? Well, communication depends not only on words, but also on how we say them and our body language. Tone of voice corresponds to our inner reflective faculty, what we really think, and the body language corresponds to our relating faculty, our action words. So there you have the octicon model helping to explain our links with language at 3 levels: origin, use and structure, both physical and spiritual. And to finish this clip, here's a question to ponder. Given the importance of our gift of language, do we use words with enough care so that their truth can reveal the divine in us?